I look at soldiers for a living.
A fitting place for toddlers. How many of you have children? How many of you have ever looked into a child care service so that you could go back to work, back to school, or spend a night out with your friends or family? If you said yes to any of these questions, then you know better than anyone else how expensive and how challenging it could be to find a high quality and affordable daycare service. Many individuals like yourselves struggle with the daily aspects of life, and the child care system is no exception. The child care system that's set in place today is a serious concern for working parents. Some of these major concerns are that child care services are too expensive and can leave negative impacts on your children. There are several different types of daycares that are available to parents, one of which includes a nanny or a babysitter. A nanny or a babysitter may seem convenient at the time, but there are several negative problems that can occur in your absence. The babysitter could steal your things, damage your property, or leave your child unsupervised and unattended for hours without your knowledge. While this may seem convenient at the time, the idea of leaving a stranger in your home with your child is an idea that most parents struggle with and scares them into looking elsewhere for child care. Another more reliable and comforting option is leaving your child with relatives. The main problem with leaving your children with relatives is that most older adults, such as your aunts, uncles, brothers, or sisters, are too working. Another problem is that some relatives are not near your family, therefore they are unable to watch your children. Therefore, many parents lean towards daycare services. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, in 2011, 61% of 20.4 million children under the age of 5 were cared for in a child care setting. Daycares provide a secure and developmentally fitting place. In the state of Texas, children from the ages of a newborn to 5 years old are not required to be enrolled in the early childhood program. Therefore, most parents are left with the choice of placing a child in daycare or staying at home with them. The most common option turns out to be the most expensive option. The normal daycare services are going to be Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. But placing one child in a daycare service can be a struggle, let alone 2 or 3 children. In addition to this, while parents stay at home with their children, they're going to lose hours and experience within the workforce. For example, if a young couple has one child and the mother decides to stay home with them, she will theoretically be unemployed for 5 years. Therefore, she's going to lose years and experience in the workforce, making it harder for her to return when the child is able to go to school. But what if the mother has a child again when her first child is 3 years old? Then, instead of spending 5 years unemployed, she will now spend 8. These 8 years of unemployment are going to make it even more difficult for her to re-enter the workforce. But, on the flip side, she'll be able to spend much more time with her kids teaching them. With the same family in mind, imagine the mom accepted a part-time job and both her children were in daycare. According to Jack Craver, author of Baby on Board, the average cost of placing one child in daycare is anywhere from $900 to $1,500 a month in the state of Texas. Therefore, any money that the mother would make in this part-time job would go straight to daycare. She would theoretically be paying someone else to watch her children so she could be at work. In other words, families are forced to decide whether to pay a significant amount of their income or to exit the workforce in order to care for their children. Besides the cost of attending daycare, there are several negative aspects that come along with this decision. One of which is that your children will begin to pick up behaviors that other children display. For example, if little Timmy sees little Johnny kicking everyone when he gets mad, little Timmy is going to want to try the same thing. According to parentingcounts.org, children store in their minds both positive and negative images that may be imitated or tested out in a later time. This is why little Timmy will want to go home and kick his mom when she says no. In addition to this, there is a much higher possibility of your children getting sick. There are dozens of children between the ages of a newborn to 5 years old that are running around in the same building. These are the same children who don't cover their mouths when they cough or sneeze, often forget to wash their hands after the bathroom, and probably still pick their noses. This, in the end, will lead to much higher medical bills, frequent trips to the hospital, and the same parent will have to leave work to stay at home with their sick child. In conclusion, each different type of child care services have several negative aspects. Daycare services are the most common and seem to have the most costly service of them all. Daycares are expensive, they can force parents to give up time with their children, they increase the chances of sickness, and can lead children to learn new behaviors that will then affect you at home.